Hello beautiful bookworms, my name is Katerina and welcome to my channel. So today I'll be doing a tag. I was tagged by BookCravings to do her original tag called Food and Literature Book Tag. And thank you so much for tagging me because this tag is pretty awesome, and although I had to think a lot so I could get the right answer to these questions, I think it's a really cool tag and that everybody should give it a shot, especially if you are from different countries, so you can see what others answer it, and it's really good. So thank you so much for tagging me, and I will start doing the tag. So question number 1, name an unforgettable meal scene you felt you were there. And for this one I have to go with the Red Wedding from Game of Thrones because it is definitely unforgettable, and if you haven't read or seen Game of Thrones and you've been living under a rock for all of your life, I'm not going to spoil you for what happens, but the Red Wedding is definitely an unforgettable scene, and I very much felt like I was there because how could I not be? It was so I can't even say it. You have to read it or watch the show so you can go and see what it is about. Question number 2. A book with a dish or scene that somehow represents the cuisine of your country. And this one was hard, but I'm going to explain thoroughly why this one that I chose represents it. And I chose the scene with all of the dwarves eating in the house of Bilbo from The Hobbit. And why? Because, first of all, my country has a lot of diverse food. So the fact is that each dwarf, when they come in, they ask for very different foods and they want to eat very different things and a lot of sweets, and Portugal has a lot of good sweets and a lot of food based on meat and etc. And we have a lot of food. So yeah, we have a lot of different food. I heard a lot of foreign people coming in and saying that we have the most diverse cuisine that they know till now. So yeah, I think this represents very well my country's cuisine, and the fact that all of these dwarves are sitting together in a table talking really loud and eating and being together, that's something that actually happens in my family. Well, we're not that many, but it happens, and I think it happens in other Portuguese families, like the family gets together and they talk really loud because we have Latin blood, so we are very loud, and we talk about everything and we eat a lot. Yeah, that's Portuguese cuisine for you, so I thought this was appropriate. Question number 3, the perfect cooking scene. Well, I don't read a lot of books where they describe perfectly the cooking scenes, but in the Black Jewels trilogy by Anne Bishop, you have a lot of food that is prepared by the lady of the kitchen, and that lady is said to cook really well, and every time that you have a description of how she cooks and the description of the dish that she makes, it makes me water my mouth. Like, it's so good. So yeah, probably describing her making the dish is one of the best cooking scenes described, and I don't know because I haven't read a lot of them, so yeah, this is my pick for this one. Question number 4, a fictional dish you wish you could taste. Everything from Harry Potter, everything that they eat in those feasts, like, oh, why am I not in Hogwarts just so I can eat? Okay, no, I want to learn spells too, but the food, everything is awesome, except maybe for the chocolate frogs because I wouldn't want to eat them because they jump and they look alive, and that's very weird. But the rest, everything, I want to eat everything. Question number 5, a fiction book that made you learn something about a foreign cuisine. And for this one I chose The Elephant Vanishes from Haruki Murakami. And the thing is, I chose this one, but I could have chosen any of Murakami's books because although he spends a lot of time talking about the proper way of cooking pasta, and that's a little bit more Italian than Japanese, and this author is Japanese, he also talks a lot about Japanese food and how to cook it and how to put it together and stuff like that. And I learned a lot even if I didn't want to, or even if I wasn't considering learning because of the plot of the book. It has nothing to do with food. The plots of his book have nothing to do with food, but I learned a lot about Japanese food and also the proper way of cooking pasta. I'm kidding. With Haruki Murakami, so yeah, I have to choose one of his books. I'm choosing this one because it's one of my recent reads, but yeah, it could be any one of his books. Question number 6. What do you enjoy the most about meals and food in literature? Well, I love the banquets, like when there's a lot of people and there's something going on and a celebration and there's these descriptions of all of those things, those megalomanian things. I just love it. I also love the very different foods that happen. Like, for instance, all of the Harry Potter foods are so different and they don't exist in our world, and I would love for them to exist. And it's really awesome to imagine some food and then imagine yourself eating it and what you would feel eating it. Yeah, I really love that. And also all of the revelations that happen when families are eating, for example, like in thrillers or like, I don't know, in horror and stuff like that. Yeah, I love meal scenes for those reasons, yeah. Number 7, the worst meal you've read about or the worst meal scene. And this one was very, very easy. And it's a scene in Yumineko no Nakokoro ni. And that's a manga series called Yumineko When They Cry. And it's translated in English for When They Cry. Forget the Yumineko because... And I am showing this book. This is the 3rd book of the series. And in this book, it's not a spoiler because, yeah, the premise of this is that you have a witch and you have a human, and the human doesn't believe that the witch exists, and the witch wants to prove that she exists. And if she wins, that human that's playing against her will be her slave forever, and if he wins, she will have to disappear because he proves that witches aren't real. And so the thing that she does is killing his family over and over again in like these loops so that he can tell her that it didn't happen because she missed something, and she can tell him that it did happen because locker rooms and stuff like that. And there's one scene in this that some of the family members are missing and people are searching for them, and then they go into like this part of the house and they see them like sleeping on a table filled like with pumpkins carved and a lot of delicious food. And I was like, damn, they went there to eat? Why? But then you start seeing that they don't open their eyes and they're like this. So you start to saying, uh-oh, this is not good. And yeah, when they turn on the light, everybody is disemboweled. Like, it was gross and it's really, really graphic. So if you don't have stomach for this type of gory stuff, don't read this manga because it is so graphic. And that has to be the worst meal scene I've ever seen, because like you have so much delicious food, but you're not supposed to eat that because you have disemboweled people in front of you, turning the food bad with their insides. Yeah, I'm gonna stop here. I think you got the point. Number 8, the most iconic food moment in literature in your opinion. And well, you have a lot, especially in classics or stuff like that, but I will have to go like in these modern times with The Red Wedding again. And probably you should read this and find out what I'm talking about if you don't know. Number 9, and this is the last one, your favorite food in the entire world and a book or book series that match it. And I cheated a little bit and I chose a book series and a book. And it's really hard for me to choose just one favorite because I have a lot of favorites. At least I have a top 5 of favorites, so yeah, but I tried. So my favorite food, it's very difficult, but I think I'll go with lasagna. And for those of you who don't know what that is, it's an Italian food, and you should Google it because I'm really terrible at explaining what lasagna is, but I really love it and it really hits home for me. And It's really good. It's actually really good. And yeah, so the series that matches it is probably the Black Jewels trilogy, because as I have said many times in my channel, this is so underrated and it's one of my passions. I love this series. This series is amazing. I was obsessed with this for a while. I reread it 3 or 5 times, I have no idea, but I reread it a lot. It's probably the book that I reread most. And for the book, my favorite book, it's probably Kafka on the Shore by Haruki Murakami, because he's my favorite author, and this book is everything to me. I started reading because of this book. I kept reading his work because of this book, and yeah, I have nothing else to say. So I hope you guys like this tag. Thanks again to BookCravings for tagging me, and I want to tag Emilija from CoffeChatter, and maybe I'm going to tag also Emma from Missmareadsalot. So yeah, I hope you guys do this tag, and yeah, I hope you guys like this video. If you like it, leave a like. Leave down below what's your favorite food and what's your favorite books if you want, and subscribe. Bye!